Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. So we are here to discuss on a very simple topic, that is on remembering what you learn. Remembering what you learn, that is the topic of discussion for this morning. It is a bright Sunday, super Sunday, and you can see clouds are playing hide and seek with the sun. So this is the scenario you can find learning, we learn. Normally we learn. And it has got its low limit as the sky is having a no limit. So learning is a continuous process. So when we think of learning something, it must be continuous. Without any breakage, this learning must come to the picture. It is what we must keep in mind. Sometimes we feel our learning is over, we are learned, we are knowledgeable, we have acquired knowledge. These are also called copy. We are copying from or this is an imitation. We are just copying from what our grandfathers or great grandfathers or something like they kept learning. That's what we are simply repeating. We learn nothing. And this is for the purpose of your roti kapda makan, for the sustenance, survival. That's what you are doing. And the thing is, the reality, the true reality is hidden from us, we don't know. And exactly, Mother wants to quote here that learning, remember what you learn, remembering what you learn. Normally, what we normally we don't know. Raat gayi, baat gayi. Suppose this class is over, that tuition is over, schooling is over, that annual scheme or semester is over. Then we normally forget what we have learned, and we are anxious enough to know what the syllabus is. This syllabus it carries you forward in obtaining some good marks or something, some passing the exam. But thing is that here you have to know this is a spiritual track. You must remember again and again what you have learned. And normally this during this session, especially during the COVID time, you can remember people don't have any time to go for the offline classes, offline discussions and all. Now it has started, of course, and online. These people they keep learning something, but after some time you can feel there is nothing because. In offline sometimes you get concentrated, but in offline you get concentrated, you sit for some time, try to mug up, try to know what is going on. And after the class, if somebody asks you what you have learned, simply you will look as if I am questioning a vague question. Like this what happens, because normally you are unconscious, something is going on, and you are sitting and you are thinking about something else, and this online class is still hilarious. You can't know, you will be cooking your food, you will be taking care of your family, you will be teaching your student, your kids, and at that time this mobile will be in operation. But the thing is that that does not work really. Suppose this teacher is taking a class, you have to be attentive, then you have to take the notes, and finally after going to home, there must be some homework with you, or simply you try to recall whatever have been taught, and you try to go through in detail that topic what has been covered in the class. So that is what normally happening in the day to day outward life, and here a mother quotes something of the spiritual life. And of course couple of good messages you have, you always remember and offer. So anytime you have to be very much aware, you must very much become very much conscious, and you remember, and after remembering the next step is offer. So this is a great thing, and you have to go through. Anyway, mother quotes something on spiritual remembrance, the true way so that what you learn remains is to understand. Already I have quoted online, offline, so many ways. You don't understand. After taking the class, if somebody asks you, but of course they don't ask you, but if somebody asks you what you have understood, simply you look at him like something like an alien, something a stranger like this you see. So remain what really you have to do. You have to understand something. That is what the criteria. That is what the requirement. It is not to learn by heart. Not necessary to learn by heart. So that your exam will come. You have to write the answer and all. Not necessary. Not to learn by heart. You learn something by heart. It is mechanical. Normally it happens something mechanical. It is going on, people are there, the teacher keeps teaching, and you take something seriously, sometimes you don't, like this, mechanical, you see. But after some time you will be effaced unless you make use of it constantly. It will go. Immediately at the first class, the teacher is coming and teaching maths. Then immediately after maths class, maybe before leaving the class, the second teacher will be standing on the corridor, near the door. So you don't have any time to mug up, whatever. Remember what is going on. See, things are quite mechanical. It's of course it is there. Even so many things are there. Teacher tries to complete of his syllabus. By this stipulated time, he has to complete the course, and not interested. The teacher is not interested to know, to visualize or to evaluate whether you have gone through or whether you understand. So, unless you make use of it constantly, naturally you will forget. Things will come mechanically. You will be sitting, and things will be passing like a flowing air, or a flowing river. Something will be going on, and you will be sitting, simply sitting, and nothing will be there. You will be understanding nothing. For example, mother gives, you are made to learn by heart the multiplication table. What is there? You can see that multiplication table is there, and here you are here to learn by heart the multiplication table. What you have to learn by heart. That is what the requirement. So if you constantly use them, one time you have gone through, then you have not recalled anything, you have not remembered anything. Simply one time or twice you have mechanically you have gone through, then no use. You will remember them only by use of when and where you use constantly. But if by chance for years you remain without using them, constantly using them, 24 jar 8, that is equal to 192. Suppose you make a gap, maybe some months or some years, then what? So if somebody asks, or you will be acquainted, or you are required to give the question on 24 jar 8 k, how much, then naturally you will be thinking something like it is an alien question, you don't know. So without using them, learn without using them, you will forget it completely. Totally you will forget. You don't have anything to do. That is what really happening. But if you understand the principle, if you understand now itself, some very interesting topics have come to the front, like abacus and all. Using the abacus, using the heart, using the brain, and using the hand, you can of course go and take without mugging them word for reciting them word for word. So thing is that you understand the principle. But once you understand the principle, so you will be able to remember them. You know what is the technique, how can you go through. But thing is that the people don't use that principle. That is the lacuna. You see, the principle of multiplication, if you understand it, is with a mathematical sense, you will no longer need to learn by heart. If that principle is very much clear, if that the teacher is a teacher, and this method and the principle is very much clear, so nothing is there. You must not, you should not go to learn by heart. The operation will be done quite naturally in your brain. That's what already I have quoted. Everything will happen in your brain. You have to nothing, you have to struggle, you have to clash against it, so it will come normally. And for everything it is the same. For everything, like multiplication thing, table, it is same. But in spiritual line, you can remember everything. You have to be very cautious. Things you here mathematics table, you are living, and then you are being scolded, you have been guided, you have been chided, you have been beaten, and then you are going for the second step, or the second time you are going to forget. But in spiritual life it is quite different. Remember and offer constantly, every time you have to do. That is one. And of course, Sri Aurobindo is having a nice message and beautiful message on. It is by the constant remembrance that the being is prepared for the full opening. That opening is a must. You have to open to the higher force, to the divine. And for how it is possible? It is possible only by the constant remembrance. Constant remembrance. You have to remember. No breakage. It has to be constant, ceaseless. By that only you will be able to know these things. So again, mother goes forward little bit. If you understand the thing, if you have the sense of the principle, which is behind, sense of principle which is behind, everything is not given at a time. You have to learn the forward step by step. Suppose somebody is coming to the class LKG UKG, he has got the A for apple, B for bag, then naturally A B C D first he has to learn. But when you have crossed beyond, you are in the higher class or you have completed, nothing to remember like A for apple, B for bag. So but anyway, you have to be in constant touch with all these things. So which is behind, you can remember it indefinitely for hundred of years, indefinitely. Once it is done, you can remember. Some Sanskrit now it is going to be a, almost it is going to a vanishing language. People feel as if it is a dead language, but it is Devabhasa. So language of the gods. But actually, once this is, people think it is very difficult. So many formulas are there. In many ways, dash 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 like that. You are working, so it has got its principle. So you are talking, that has also got, you have got that principle also. So like this Sanskrit, once it is there, it is operating in your brain. Like mathematics, a plus b, the whole square of a plus b, a square plus 2ab plus b square. So like this Sanskrit you can remember. So aham abam vayam sautaute tvam jabam jayam, like this you can remember. Pathati pathata pathanti. So it is quite clear, and you are acquainted. Hundreds of years, if you live hundreds of years, of course, if you can live, so it will be remembered. Whereas something you have learned by heart, thing is that, whereas something is learned by heart, after some time the brain cell multiplied and it are replaced, and some things are wiped up. You have learned by heart. Something is there in the brain, something like a hard disk storage unit. After the passage of time, when you get older, the brain cells multiplied, they get replaced, they die. So things whatever were stored in a single unit, it may have vanished, wiped out. So you can't feel, you can't remember, because this is not existing at all in the brain. Brain cells, it is not existing because these cells have been replaced or wiped out. In one's life there are things which remain like landmarks. Very interesting terms mother has used here. There are things which remain like landmarks. There are landmarks means these are the things through which you can pass. This is the landmark to mark the landmark. So nothing to confuse. Here is the, after I will go suppose 5 kilometers, there will be a landmark, something will be there. From there that Chari Chakor cross, so I have to turn left, like this. So landmark. And there are others which are totally effaced to extent the one that one does not remember them at all. They are gone. Something they feel, it can't be remembered at all. So many so big things. People like this, they are doing the business. They want to misguide, but a good teacher, good guide, good guru, they want to be very much speculative. They just try to go in a very systematic way. They don't, they have sufficient time. They know the method, they know the technique, they are helpful. They are waiting people, they should come and get helped, because only one person, he can't move throughout the world and guide. Even if he is going, that is one time procedure. He has gone California, New York, Texas, or somewhere, St. Petersburg. He has gone, and second time there is may not be any possible, because universities are more. It is possible, no problem for you. But thing is that if somebody tries, no, I should not remember, then chapter is closed. So, but there are things like that, truly like milestones. Initially, mother has used a word, something like landmarks, and the second thing, it is like a milestone. Milestone, you can remember this milestone. So, so milestone, whatever, like landmarks in life. Here are milestones like landmarks in the life. So beautiful comparison, so you can find. Well, these things were these things are conscious experiences, conscious experiences. Constant. I will try to tell you conscious experience and constant experience. One not a one-time procedure. You are simply going inside and simply throwing it out. Not one-time procedure. It is a continuous procedure, and they were understood. Once it is understood, it will this method is working well. If you are just simply mugging them, reciting them, or just remembering by hard working, then after some time, after the exam or maybe after the application, it is vanishing. So they were understood. So the experience remains indefinitely. This experience, you can remember. I saw this is happened. I met somebody. This experience, it is long lasting. Even after years, indefinitely, it will be coming to picture, and you will be put in a very good position to recall whatever have happened, and whatever you have remembered rather. So with just a teeny movement of the consciousness, you can bring it forward. Not likely you will struggle forward. You will crash. Nothing like it. Teeny movement of the consciousness, you can bring them forward. It is happening. It is the true process. It is the true method, and it has been tested in most of the cases. It is happening. So, but something that is learned mechanically, not understood. Simply, I have written. I have remember. I have stored in my heart. I have worked them, and without understanding, let the exam come. I will simply write it out. Then I will forget, and it will be forgotten. If something that is learned mechanically, unless I tell you, you make use of it daily, it is effaced. So the learning is good, understanding is better, and to use them, that is perhaps be still better, the best. And it has to, you have to do and learn it constantly and remember it constantly. So without using like a mechanical mind with your mechanical mind in mind, you have to go deep into inside. You have to understand. You have to know the truth behind it, and you have to use it perfectly constantly. That is what the requirement, and it will give you. It will fetch you a very good result. So most of the times you can remember very interesting way. Sri Aurobindo quotes nicely that remember why thou camest. That is another principle in life. You can remember why thou camest. So that is what normally that's what we don't forget. Even we are forgetting the methods of this mathematics, Sanskrit or English, whatever is there, we are forgetting like this. We are forgetting the life. That is it. That is what happening. But thing is that very interesting. Very you have to be very careful. You have to remember. You have to understand. You have to store in a very bright memory and use it again and again, so that things will have the better result. Thank you. Bande Mataram.